So let's get into it. Let's get this first shot popped off. This is the drink of the day. COVID-19, people.
Okay.
COVID-19. Where are we?
Where are we, Nick?
Where are we? So last time we spoke to y'all from the bunker, the other bunker, because we moved. Last time we spoke to you guys from the other bunker, COVID was starting up. Yeah. And we laughed about a lot of shit. We didn't know. I mean, we did. You guys know we laugh at laugh at a lot of shit.
Yeah, we thought this was gonna be hey man, too much. We had a Japan trip planned.
To Tokyo.
We were going to Tokyo, guys.
Because I told my friends, I was like, yo,
you trash.
I told him, man, and I feel so bad because I led a few down the path of darkness, and we couldn't get our tickets back from the airlines, and that's a whole nother thing, bro. Yeah. All of our airlines, bro. We need to be building a high-speed transit system to compete with cross-national No, because the way they behaved during this whole time and even still now, is abhorrent. It's abhorrent. But that's a whole nother guys. Don't let me get off on that. Right. But no, I led them astray because my idea was that by September, this was March when we first did this, right? Yeah. Like this was March. By September, if I told the group, if it isn't over by September, then we got bigger problems. Yes, that's what I said. Mm-hmm. And yes, we have bigger problems. We do. And I did not calculate an American administration not doing the best it could, or even actively seeming to act against in the best interests of Americans. Whew. Resolving this thing.
Come on now. I
didn't anticipate that.
No.
And so, between that time, guys, we were at a space where COVID was at what, 5% death rate?
5%, yeah.
I think it was globally 5%, 4.5 or 5%. Mm-hmm. Now for the U.S., it is 3%. I'm not sure what it is globally. I think we can pull those numbers, but I'm thinking that global rates are dropping as well because there are some countries that are very close to opening up again.
Yes. Yeah. Now we definitely thought that we'd just be much less. We thought that we would be way less than this. Yeah. At this point, we thought this would be a passing thing, like every other pandemic is a somewhat passing thing. Yeah. But we're here. I do think that we, to some degree, have a bigger problem than we thought we had. Yeah. I think we all took it seriously, a month or so in. Yeah. But it's definitely more serious than we thought it was, because of the way that it just affected everything. Nobody economically really ducked this buckshot.
Yeah.
It just
100%. Yeah. And we didn't, and by we, our administration didn't quite take the advice of the experts.
They stopped believing science for some reason. but
did they ever believe in science? I'm not gonna get too political. Exactly. We try to stay apolitical.
Yes, but I will say that we are at a point that the CDC has come out and said that people who have not shown signs do not need to get tested. But see, of course, the CDC has also come out and said that only 6% of the deaths that were linked to COVID were due to COVID only. Were due to purely COVID. We don't know if some people have been saying that was maybe just lazy documentation by certain people who just, because of course COVID kills by so many other means that, you can, if that means that if a doctor puts, someone has passed from COVID, that's one thing. But if they say that he has passed from COVID and respiratory failure, that respiratory failure was caused by COVID. So, technically is that means that 6% number is much higher than we think it is.
But even beyond that, this is comorbidity, right? Like this idea, and this is something the right has really kind of, this is what they championed essentially. It wasn't a big deal because the only people dying were people with underlying conditions. What? Like that's still not like okay. Even if we look at it just from that perspective, it's like, but these people didn't have to die because this disease was containable.
It was containable.
It was containable, right?
Underlying conditions. I mean, like they say, like so much of the population, 40 to 60% of the population has an underlying condition that was not going to kill them at all. This underlying condition wasn't going to kill them until they were 70. Yeah. And now they have to deal with this underlying condition when they're 30 or in their 20s.
No, them using that to dismiss how serious it was is insane. It's just insane. Yes. And the thing that made COVID so dangerous, or makes COVID so dangerous, I think, to be honest, we're coming up out of it, right? Yeah, we are. In my estimation, and the reason why we're coming up out of it is because, or at least what I'm seeing is because infection rates are still kind of, I think they're going up still. Yeah. But the death rates are starting to drop. Wow. What we're seeing take hold is herd immunity. Yeah. Herd immunity is finally, or is it, am I using the right word? Is it herd immunity or?
If you're not using the
Tracy,
right word.
Is that the right word? Tracy's our producer, guys. We got a producer now.
We're big time. Stop talking to me like that. Don't speak to me on the street when you see me.
No, it's
herd immunity.
Herd immunity is like community immunity.
Yeah, basically the idea that it's basically the same sentiment that if you're a parent, the idea that parents have like these cold parties where one kid gets sick, and instead of having to deal with it at random, all the parents have all the kids kind of go and catch a cold at the same time, so that they all kind of.
Or that enough of the community that isn't like ill, that isn't really sick or old, gets it, and so it kind of like and gets over it and builds immunity to it, and so it forms this kind of shield or herd immunity around the elderly, and so that it doesn't touch the people who are sick. Who if they get it, it will be really bad. But because the rest of us have gone through it and gotten immunity, then we're kind of forming the shield. And so what's happening now is, or at least what I think is happening, is that herd immunity is finally taking hold. And that the issue with COVID was that it was so dangerous because herd immunity was not taking hold, because we weren't building antibodies. Like scientists were saying that if you got it, you could get reinfected in about 3 months or so, because you're unlike other things that we have dealt with. Your body doesn't hold on to that immunity for a long period of time. Like a cold, you get it, or a flu, whatever strain, you get it, you build immunity to it. You probably don't have to worry about it again unless you get another strain. Yeah, COVID was acting totally abnormal in that people were getting it, but their bodies weren't building complete immunity to it. Yes. So that herd immunity, that normal logic takes, or that herd immunity that people kind of use and reference in normal logic when dealing with viruses and stuff, was not taking hold. And so like these people that were like, we should just get out there and do it, it's like, this is not the same animal. It's like, I get what you're saying. Like, we all just get the stomach virus, a bad rash of the stomach virus goes through everybody. Everybody gets it, and then we're set and good. It's like it was not behaving that way, and they didn't recognize it.
You have to understand when you're talking about certain, people who are experts on this. Yeah, when they are saying that it's knocking out a lot of people.
Come on, man.
When they're saying it's knocking out a lot of people.
The Rock, and Dwayne Johnson.
And when they're saying that, and also going back and saying, I'm still not sure what the this is,
dude.
That's when you have to say, like, hey, let's take more precautions. Yeah. Because they're saying that they don't exactly know what this is.
And I brought up The Rock because everyone knows The Rock is like almost 100% muscle. This guy's the epitome of health.
Of health,
right? Bro. And he even said like this was one of the worst things he's ever been through.
Come on now.
Come on. Like, come on. Like,
if The Rock can't take it, you can your ass.
You don't want to smell what's cooking.
You don't want this,
God damn. Can you smell? No, seriously.
And
but
what it's done to our economy and the fact that it's shown that most. It's like, they say that, oh, you should have 3 months saved up just in case.
Come on, man.
What we've shown is that most businesses don't have 3 months saved up. So if that's the case, then look, man, nobody really truly dodged this whole COVID thing.
Not at all.
Completely unscathed.
Not at all.
So unless you were a billionaire, which means that this probably, you probably made a few mil during this.
And the thing is, but it's like, it's exposed so much that is wrong with our economic system at the moment. But that's all we got on that shot.
That's all we got.
That's all we got. I'm being cut.
So we got to wrap it up. So
but that's my last bit.